Hello and welcome to another garden update. This one's going to be a little depressing because there isn't much that has happened because pretty much all of June, pretty much all of July and the end of June, I kind of forgot about my garden. I was really depressed, and then I had family in town, and then I was depressed again. So things got a little neglected, and so things have stunted. Also, as you'll see with some things, I had issues with my gardener again coming back here when I told them not to, and they potentially killed one of my plants. So we'll start back here. So these tomatoes really have not done anything. I'm sorry, they're not showing up very well. But yeah, I have this little guy. I keep putting him up here to get him to climb. Let's see, we'll do like that. Maybe that'll. And he keeps falling, so I don't know what to do with him. That was doing well. I just don't think I'm watering them enough anymore. So I've gone back to watering them daily. Also, I found out they might be stunted in growth because in the evening it gets pretty windy down here, and so I guess they don't climb. But yeah, this tomato plant has been doing awesome. As you can see, I have a number of tomatoes, and we've eaten several already, and they're really good. This one I thought had stunted and wasn't doing anything, and then I found that this vine was wrapped up in here, and then there was another one way over here. So it's doing really well. This is my cherry tomato, and you can see I have some that are finally going, so that is good. Just pick that little bit off. And so I'm excited about that. Here is the other tomato plant. You can see there's one way back there that's ready to pick, and we have a whole bunch here. My dad spent some time with me and helped me get them all tied up. So I'll talk to you about it in a minute, but we have some plans for changing things up. Here is the tomatillo plant that the gardeners may have killed. There are several branches that were twisted. And you can see this one is too. And I've tried repairing them and fixing them, so I don't know what's gonna happen. This one needs to be tied back up. But we do have on this other plant a couple of tomatillos starting, so maybe this one will do better. I don't know. And then those are not doing any better. I still need to move those. But I moved my daisies over here, and they're doing well. This little guy has been salad for somebody, but some of my flowers are growing, so that's fun. And then that's my neighbor's yard, but we are replacing the fence, and you may notice there's a tree missing. We eventually want to get rid of all the trees. I guess this is a good time to tell you what our plans are for the garden. So we want to get rid of all the trees, especially like this one because it's leaning on the garage. But we have to do it by hand because we can't afford to have them moved out. But that'll bring in a lot of light like they have. And then we're going to do something similar so that we can have like vines growing up for some protection, because yeah, no one wants to be sitting here having a nice evening and being stared at by people. So yeah, this is gym equipment. Trying to get my dad to move it out back into the garage, but we need to make room in the garage. But once we get rid of these trees, I think these areas will do a lot better. And then I'll have these beds to do stuff in, because right now it's got stuff in the way. That's our table, which would go here potentially. This has a burner on the other side, so we're thinking of putting the burner on and then angling it sideways and then angling this one sideways and then having the table there. Okay, so my other idea for this area, because I like how my neighbors have stuff on both sides, I feel like that's not enough beans. Even if they were all going off at the same time, they're just not enough. So my idea is to take, since they don't take up a lot of room, take this entire area and do what we did there with the chicken wire, but extend it all the way out to like here and just grow beans like crazy on this side of the wall. And then, because this area gets a lot of sun, and I feel like the tomatoes would do a lot better in this area, so we would move all the tomatoes and stuff this way into these beds. So that's my ideas, and then we'll see. And then hopefully the area down here, once the trees are gone, can be used for plants also. So that's our plans. So this year was kind of like an experimental year. We have gotten some really good tomatoes, which is awesome, but let me sit down here. Yeah, it's not going as planned, but things don't. Also, our soil back here is super sandy and has like little to no nutrients. I am fertilizing every 15 days to get things the way they are. So I think also next year, growing season, there'll be more nutrients in the ground because of the plants. So it might be a little better. Plus, I've never done beans before, and so it's a new thing for me. And then also the tomatillos, I didn't have a success last time I tried them a few years ago. I did them in a pot. This time I've learned more, you know, it's a learning experience. And I'm one of those gardeners, like, I'm sure there's people out there that like sit there and like Google everything, and I'm just like, let's try it and see what happens. But yeah, we're not by any means, I'm not done for the season. My goal with like the tomatoes and stuff is to see how long into fall and winter I can get, because it's still in the 80s, the upper 70s and 80s into October. It's usually around just after Halloween and like Veterans Day that it starts to get cold, and it's only for like 3 months. So we're gonna see how long we can go, and then, you know, I might be doing plants in stages. We'll see. Guys, I'm such a dork. I totally forgot to show you the progress in the front yard. Okay, so this is what's going on. We have more flowers that I planted about 2 weeks ago, so we have lots of new stuff coming up and some of the old. This tomato plant is doing really well. My dad put up this little like teepee for it. The basil's doing well. I need to harvest some of it really soon. I make like a pesto. These are just awesome. We have some of the poppies coming back. This is just absolutely gorgeous. Look at that vibrant color. They're just so pretty. I have no idea what these are, but they're huge. And I kind of like them even though they don't really have any flowers. And then I'm trying to be careful of all the spiders. These are growing back. This is where there were the big poppies that the gopher had eaten. So I put more seeds in, and those are starting to come up. You can see over here we have the same thing. Just lots of really beautiful flowers, and it's just so nice to be sitting or standing and doing the dishes and just having those to look out at. I also planted some up here in front of my neighbors because they were admiring my flowers. So they have, some of them are coming up, but you can see that soil up here is not the greatest. So it's a fighting kind of thing. But that is this month's update. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time.